one of the most important ones. If you take nothing away from this, please consider this. I have a secret. Most self-made wealthy women didn't get there by chance or by luck. More often than not, they got there by managing their money very differently than most people. Today, I am sharing 22 powerful money habits that keep them wealthy and that you can start applying to your own life, no matter what your income. Ladies, whether your personal goal is to build legitimate wealth or just build a nice, comfortable future for yourself, these easy to implement habits can dramatically help and change the trajectory of your financial future. As with every video that I do on this channel, take what you love, leave behind what you don't. Okay, ladies, let's do this. Before we start, to be crystal clear, not everything here is going to apply to you. Some will, some won't. You're the boss of you, you decide what to take. Number one, pay yourself first. Before buying the shoes, the bag, or the flight, the wealthy woman pays herself first. That means setting aside a percentage of income for savings and investments before spending a single cent. Even if you start with just 5%, you are building the same wealth first habits that she lives by. Number two, multiple bank accounts. Instead of mixing all of your money into one lump sum account, instead consider at least 3 primary separate accounts. One for bills, one for investments, and one for luxury. Why? Because it allows an at-a-glance reality check on exactly what you have. So when you do want to indulge, you can do it guilt-free because you know that you've already insured your financial future. Listen, personal note, in my 20s, I would buy the shoes because I thought I had all this money in my account, only to realize there wasn't a dime left to put into savings after I had paid all my bills. Live and learn. Assets over liabilities. They choose purchases that grow in value. Property, stocks, municipal bonds, even art. Before buying something, they internally ask, will this make me money or is this going to cost me money? In the end, they may opt for a non-appreciating luxury from time to time. We're all human. But the point is they get into the habit of asking themselves the question first. This way, they go into each individual purchase with their eyes wide open. Next, quality over quantity. They'll opt for one exquisite blazer, one classic amazing handbag, versus 5 mediocre ones. Fewer, better things not only elevate your style, but it actually saves you money over time because if cared for well, the items still look like $1 million years and years from now. I have great handbags in my closet, ladies, that I have had for probably 10 or 12 years, and they still look as good as the day I bought them. Number 5, and in my opinion, one of the most important ones. If you take nothing away from this, please consider this: avoiding the lifestyle creep. This one is key, and I am going to credit my husband Oliver with this one. When your income rises, they don't immediately start upgrading their lifestyle at the same time or commensurate with the level at which their income is rising. Instead, they invest the difference. And that, my friends, is how net worth quietly builds and skyrockets behind the scenes. My husband Oliver and I have been together since the beginning, as in right after he finished only his 2nd year of law practice, working off of a desk that he made with 2 posts and a door upside down as his desk. As his practice grew and our income rose, we kept our lifestyle basically the same. Despite my prodding, I will be honest. Instead, we invested the difference in annuities, municipal bonds, his growing practice, and having plenty of cash liquidity. Over time, that kind of financial discipline has eventually built significant wealth behind the scenes that we now enjoy today. The key was the financial discipline to resist the urge to buy more expensive cars, a nicer house, or super fancy vacations just because we were making more money at the time. My mom will tell you that I am the queen of negotiating everything. From salaries to vendor contracts to cars and even small purchases, I always at least ask, because small gains compound into big wealth over time. And frankly, I have a sales background, so it's in my blood to ask for a better price. I just can't help myself. For me, I view the quoted price that anybody gives me as just the starting point of the negotiation. Then I look and I start identifying other elements like setup fees, installation fees, contract term, anything that I can use as leverage or a lever in order to negotiate the price down or get certain things waived. Also, for some contracts, when I know that the sales rep is probably on a monthly quota, I wait until close to the end of the month before squeezing them for a better price. Why? Because I know that at the end of the month, the sales rep is going to be motivated to make his or her number for the month. So they are going to be much more inclined to give me a better price. Option 2, which is even a better one, I wait until the end of the quarter. Why do I do this? Because quarterly goals are usually what management is held accountable for. Now, of course, it depends across the industry and the company, but as a general rule, toward the end of each quarter, vendors are going to be much more inclined to give you a better price. Just a little tip from behind the scenes, y'all. I ran sales organizations at a very high level for a very long time. And at the end of the quarter, and even at the end of the year, I was very motivated to help my teams close as much business as possible. So that's when I stepped in and I would cut deals. They rarely see me coming. Next, using other people's money wisely. They're not afraid of credit or loans if it funds an investment that earns more than it costs. Let me repeat that. They aren't afraid of credit or loans if it funds an investment that earns more than it costs. For everyday life, they know to pay off their balances in full. Number 8, outsourcing to protect time. Time, ladies, is the most valuable asset that we have. They hire and pay others for tasks that aren't direct revenue generators or that honestly just don't bring them joy. And instead, they use that time for wealth building activities. To be crystal clear, there is of course a time when it's smarter for you to just do it yourself because you're not yet in the position where you can truly afford to outsource it. Ergo, it's smarter to do it yourself and then invest the money in you. Let me use myself for example. Although I don't hire anybody to film, edit, research, source products, create graphics, nothing for my business. I do, however, have an entire staff that helps us to run the household, whether it's errands, grocery shopping, meal preparation, housekeeping, really anything that you can think of. And instead, I use that time to focus 100% on what I do best, which is creating a brand and a business and this wonderful community. Number 9, quietly living below their means. They might look as though they're spending luxuriously, but often they're doing a mix of high-low, spending on luxuries that they truly appreciate, more modestly on things that they just really don't. In other words, they know that they don't have to have the best of everything just because it's the best if they don't really appreciate it. If it's not that important to you, don't waste the money just for show, yo. Number 10, tracking every dollar. They know exactly where their money is going because what gets measured gets improved. They usually use some kind of a free app and they check it wisely, even if it's just Quicken. Number 11, multiple income streams. Very, very important. Just depending on one single job? No. Instead, they diversify. Annuities, municipal bonds, rentals. So no single loss is devastating. And they create passive income. Very important. So if one revenue stream goes to hell in a handbasket, they get sick, they get injured, they've got passive income and other revenue streams to depend on. In short, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Seek to diversify. Number 12, strategic credit card use. They earn luxury travel and rewards on everyday spending, but never pay interest. That's how a $4 cup of coffee becomes a first-class ticket. They tend to resist the temptation to spend impulsively on a large purchase like that brand new car they really want. Instead, take a beat, slow your roll, and give it 24 to 48 hours to sink in, think about, and decide if you really need the purchase. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But giving yourself that 24 to 48 hours you can't lose. Number 14, building an emergency fund. We all know this, but sometimes it's a good reminder. At least 6 months is minimal and preferably a good 2 years. Start with just $500 and then build from there, a little at a time. Oliver always used to say, slow and steady wins the race. And of course, if you follow me, you know my personality is like this, so it would drive me nuts, but I will say that he was right. Build your emergency fund. Don't touch it. Don't dip into it unless you really, really need to. And that is why it's called an emergency fund. And by the way, once you have it there, think of the incredible peace of mind that it gives you. That is invaluable. Number 15, understanding your taxes and hiring somebody smart who does. They know how to legally reduce their taxes so more stays invested. That's why they use retirement accounts and deductions wisely. Hire a good, strong CPA and learn from that person. Just enough to be dangerous, I like to say. Number 16, saying no without the guilt. If it doesn't align with their goals, it's a no. That kind of discipline gives them the ability to protect their money and stay focused on the end game. Number 17, delaying gratification. Two words when put together I do not like. The wealthy woman saves for big purchases instead of financing it, and often finding better, smarter deals in the interim. Number 18, learning from other wealthy people. Far from being a know-it-all, they surround themselves with smart financial role models and keep their mind open to learning key tips from peers, just like what you're doing here, which is, listen, my mindset if I was watching this would be, even if I walk away with one or two key takeaways, I've already won. That is the art of learning and keeping an open mind. We all learn from each other, whether it's an example of what to do and even an example of what not to do. They listen, absorb, and they stay open to smart ideas. Number 19, reinvesting windfalls, bonuses, inheritance, tax refunds. They don't blow them, even though it's tempting. Instead, they put them to work making more money, investing in their future. It might be tempting to treat yourself to a brand new car, but here is one thing that I remember Bill Gates saying, and it stuck with me for a long time. If you follow me, you know that I am originally from Seattle, Washington, born and raised. Bill Gates was a very big deal, so anytime he would say something, it would be all over the news. The newscaster at the time asked him, "So how does one know when you can really afford to buy that new Mercedes?" And this was his answer: when you can afford to buy it from pocket change. I never forgot that. Number 20, keeping debt low or strategic. High interest debt, no. If they borrow, it's to create income, not liabilities. On a personal note, we live virtually debt-free. The only thing that we finance is leasing our cars, and that is done for strategic reasons. We don't keep cars for more than 3 years because my husband likes cars, and I'm like, fine with me. So it's smarter for us to lease it, turn it in. Now, could we afford to just write a check for our cars? Yes, but that wouldn't be a smart use of our money. So we do what we do. Number 21, financial education. They read, they research, they stay informed. Because in finance, ignorance is expensive. Number 22, setting clear goals. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know how you're going to get there. Wealthy women know exactly where they are headed financially, and every decision reflects that destination. The goal is their rudder. I'll say that one more time. The goal is their rudder. And every decision that they made is run through the sieve of, does this get me one step closer or one step further from my ultimate financial goal? And the truth is, ladies, wealth isn't just about income. It's about discipline, priorities, and playing the long game. And speaking of wealth, you're not going to want to miss my next video, Looking Wealthy on a Budget. Have a great week, ladies, and I'll see you Friday. Take care.